Good evening, good evening, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome to episode 26 of Metaverse Masterminds. What a fantastic way to start the show, seeing so many people jumping in and saying hi. Excellent stuff, guys. That's exactly what we want on Metaverse Masterminds. Let's have a quick look. Let's see who we've got on board. Well, to start with, we've got Private Buddykins up the top right-hand corner of the screen. Big kudos to Sarah for doing all the moderating and chat group moderating. Fantastic. Who else have we got? We've got Trucker Fletch and Fred. Let's bring Trucker Fletch on. Hiya, Chris. How are you doing? No volume, mate. No volume at all for some reason. Are you getting anything now?
No.
Try again. Not getting anything from your audio, Chris, for some reason. That is an odd one. I'm just checking my end because I've been doing a bit of video editing and everything. It's not my end, sir. Yeah, Chris has just logged out. There's Buddykins. So, okay, guys, just leave it with us. Let's see if Trucker Fletch can resolve his audio problems. Okay, who've we got in the chat box then? Adam, welcome, Adam. Great to see you in the show, in the audience. We've got Buddykins, we've got Pam and Matt. Welcome, Pam.
I've got no volume for him.
That's it, Chris, you're on now. Just give us a second, mate. Let me bring you on. There you go. Welcome, volume. Chris. It's working now. Can you hear me? Can't you hear me? Chris, can you hear me?
That's not working. Can't hear him.
No, Chris isn't hearing me.
We've broken something. No, not that one.
Let's carry on.
Well, Chris, we'll reboot and come back.
Okay, Chris, no problem.
We've done something.
Okay, Sergeant Meng, great to see you in the viewers' audience this evening. And we've got Jenny J-Lo. Welcome, Jenny. Great to see you here. Chris never made so much sense. Absolutely. He's having audio problems for some reason. Okay, guys, let's crack on. We've not got Patricia on the panel yet. Hopefully Patricia is going to drop in. Winnie's not dropping in this evening because Winnie's absolutely exhausted, bless her. She needs a little bit of relaxation. So here's Chris again. Let's see if he's able to.
He's being a knob.
There we are.
Hello?
I heard that.
Oh, right. It isn't being a whatever it was then.
No, it's not. You're live on air, Chris. All right.
Yeah, we're here.
Welcome, Chris. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad, mate. We've got another visitor on, another guest tonight. We've got Willie heard Uncle Kev's voice, so she wanted to come and have a look. But now she's going to make
awesome. Awesome, excellent. I could see you on board, Chris, and we've got plenty to talk about. Oh, there's Winnie. Winnie's in the chat group. Hello, everyone. I'm here in the chat, just not to being in the studio. Yeah, we fully understand, Winnie, and we all send our love to you and Peter, and hopefully, things are on the way up, from here on in. So great to see you in the chat box. And like I say, we'll just wait for Patricia. Let's see if she joins us. Buddykins has dropped out and dropped back in. Here's Patricia. Let's bring Patricia in. Good evening, Patricia. I didn't realise you was there till I scrolled down.
No, it's okay. I've only just come on, Kev. So, hello.
All right. Welcome to episode 26. Do you want to know what the title is tonight?
Yes, please.
You'll be very interested in this one, Patricia, I'm sure. The title for tonight's show is Locked Assets Open Debate DAOT. Now, this is something that's on everybody's lips, I'm sure. And what we're going to do this evening, we're not like all the rest that say, oh, we'll cancel, because there's nothing really happening. We're here to debate it, guys. This is what Metaverse Masterminds is all about. We take that elephant in the room, we sit it on the table in the middle, and we chat about it, okay? So thank you, Patricia, for joining us this evening. Now, I've got to say, and I'm going to say it briefly before we start the show this evening. If I have to run off for 2 or 3 minutes, I do apologise now. And the reason being is I'm the only person with Sarah that's in the hotel at the moment. It's all been fenced off for security because there's a lot of building and architecture going on here, and somebody might need access. So I'm the only gatekeeper. So unfortunately, I might have to run off for a couple of minutes. So if I do, bear with us. I'll put some music on or something. Okay. So just a heads up about that. Okay. As you may well know, General Kev, Private Buddykins, just spent 3 weeks in Gibraltar, and we're now back in the UK. We had a safe journey home, and we're pleased to be back, apart from the weather, of course. But what did we come back to? Oh my God, it was absolute carnage. And it still is at the moment. Dalversal, what's going on? Well, we're here to talk about that, guys. And, even though there's a lot of negativity in the groups, there is quite a lot of positivity regarding the recent changes that are going on within the platform. So a quick hello to anybody else that's joined us in the chat room, in the YouTube. I'm live on Twitter, I'm in Discord and Telegram this evening. So share the link, guys, if you want anybody to join us, and anybody is more than welcome to send questions into the live studio via the live chat box, and we'll put it live on the screen so that we can all debate this, and let's come to some sort of understanding, because I do believe that the biggest problem here is the misunderstanding. Tell you what I'm going to do to start off with, guys, because I do like this layout on the screen. I think that's much better, don't you, Patricia?
Yes, I do.
Sorry, I caught you unawares with your microphone again.
I'm just trying to organise it so I can see you properly, because I'm on my phone and it's harder. Okay,
well, we've moved into another room within the hotel because there's a much bigger room and we can watch outside, and, for security reasons, we're in a different room this evening. So I need to sort the lighting out, and I didn't have time to sort it. So I do apologise about the reflection in my glasses and all that. We will get this sorted out for next week, guys. Okay. Like everybody should know, it's less than an hour now. In 50 minutes time, the pre-sale subscription of DAOT tokens comes to an end. Okay. Now, it's created quite a lot of controversy, to be fair, because even though there was a vote, a community vote, which I will say, guys, I was 100% backing that vote, purely because this is what we're aiming for. We're aiming for a decentralized platform where everybody gets their vote. When I say I was 100% behind it, I don't mean either way, yes or no. I mean behind the actual integration of that vote, because I see that as a magnificent step forward for Dalversal and the future of this platform, because decentralized is most certainly the way we need to go, but understanding it's a different matter. Okay, so this is what we've come up with for this evening. Patricia's got something she wants to talk about as well. So if we take about 10 minutes or so just to talk about how you feel regarding DAOT and what happened a couple of days ago, Patricia, because as far as we was concerned, the subscription had come to an end. And I do believe that the majority of members thought the same. And then there was a little bit of a bombshell when everybody mislocated their rewards. It was exchanged into DAOT. So, Patricia, what do you think about what happened? Because, we're here to look at all sides of the coin.
I think I said last time that the vote was not very consensual, in the sense of we didn't really know what we were voting for. And so what happened is, it looks like what we were voting for was that the rewards would get taken whether you'd opted in or out, which was okay. That happened once, and I was like, okay, so I've lost my rewards this time around. But what happened recently was that the the pre-sale allocation was suddenly increased,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore you had more of your rewards taken in a second tranche, but without telling you that that would happen. And then I think there was an announcement after the rewards disappeared, and
It's
so that
almost
was,
it's almost as though they had to do that to try and quell a lot of the negativity.
yeah, it's just the wrong way round, isn't it? If you're going to do something like that, you need to inform people, by the way, we've just increased the allocation, now we're going to take some more rewards so that you get the benefit of the pre-sale.
Yeah,
But it didn't happen that way round.
That's right. And I've got to mention the fact that in order to move forward and give the power to the members, that's a classic example of what they could have done better. You know, and I'm not afraid to say so. You know, I'm very vocal on these things. At the end of the day, we do not need any more upset within the global community, all the groups and that. We don't need it. We've got enough, you know. There's enough for the leaders and the trainers and so forth to have to deal with on a general day-to-day basis without having to try and explain to people, because believe me, I can see both sides of the coin. I can see it from the members' point of view, and I can also see it from their point of view too. And when we look at the nitty-gritty, they can say, yes, we did vote for that up until the 5th of April. But you're absolutely right. I think this should have been talked to about before, or announced before the actual event, because everybody was caught out. I was. My daily rewards, I was saving them up because I intend, like everybody knows, I intend to be able to offer new packages, purchase bronze plots and so forth to new pioneers when we get into MySpace. And obviously I need rewards in order to make that happen. And it was quite a blow, to be fair, to wake up and find out that that had been zeroed again. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, it's just going to take me longer. You know, I never change my path forward, and my word always sticks. But at the bottom line, that didn't help me to achieve that goal. Okay, we're not in MySpace yet. Doesn't matter. The principle stays the same. In order to gain the trust of the community, they've got to do it slightly better next time. Do you agree?
100%.
Okay.
Communication is everything. You know, how you do something, really important. So I think it was a bit of a misstep, that, unusually, because normally they're really good. But it upset a lot of people, and we just don't need any more of that kind of FUD, you know, going around. The kind of told you so, this is a scam kind of stuff. It's just it's really unnecessary, and it doesn't advance us any, does it really?
The very fact of why it started was to cut off the negativity in the first place, and then to bring that up as well was just like the cherry on the top, you know. I'm going to say it, guys, you know, and I'm sure I can speak for many other members as well. Dalversal, please learn by this, you know, recent event, because, you know, you've got some great members here that believe in the project, and that, you know, it upset quite a lot of members. You know, I know corporate sometimes watch these, and like I say, we're saying it with all due respect, and you know, we understand the pressures they're under as well, because they've got to deliver. They've got a huge responsibility regarding TFA and cutting off the hypergroup involvement and launching MySpace and My Home. Okay, but we've got to look at the future, and to retain that trust and faith within the platform, then we've got to try that a little bit harder. I'm speaking for everyone, I'm sure. Okay. So, okay. What have we learned going forward regarding this pre-sale allocated subscription? Do you fully understand it, Patricia? Because there's many people that don't.
I'm going to be honest with you, Kevin. I don't. I know it's vested for 2 years in a linear fashion, whatever that means. Yeah. I don't even know. You said, I think you'd worked out 10% a month or something like that. Don't know.
No, word was going about that it was 10%. But what I did a calculation, and to receive an equal amount over 24 months would mean that you were allocated 4.16% of the amount of tokens you had. You would receive that amount every month for the next 2 years. Okay, so people could maybe work it out and get an idea. Like I said, guys, nothing confirmed. This is just General Kev having a number crunch session, you know, to see how they may be moving forward. So, like I say, Patricia, you've explained that you don't really understand it, which is obvious because we've not been told anything of the linear, whether it's going to be an equal amount every month or whether there's a smaller amount for a start, larger amount at the end of the 24 months. I don't know. They haven't announced that. But what I think I might do, if it's okay with you, is just read out a little description of crypto vesting, because this is like an umbrella description of what we're doing and why. Because I've noticed one of the biggest things is people are saying, yeah, but why are they doing that? You know, what is it? That's our rewards. What are we going to gain? Okay. So what I want to do is just go through a couple of paragraphs briefly, and then we'll get on to your talking about what you want to talk about. Is that okay? Excellent. Okay, guys, so the main benefit of vesting in crypto is that it aligns the interests of the employees and stakeholders with the long-term success of a company or project. By restricting access to digital assets such as cryptocurrency for a certain period of time, employees and stakeholders are incentivized to stay with the company or project for at least that period of time. Okay, so this helps to ensure that the company or project has the support and the commitment of its employees or stakeholders for that long term. I think that's a great idea, and I'm sure some people don't. Okay, so vesting in crypto can also help to prevent market volatility. Now we're talking. Because this is the sort of thing that I love about the opportunity that they've given us. So I'll read that again. Vesting in crypto can also help it to prevent market volatility. When tokens are released all at once, it can cause the value of the tokens to fluctuate rapidly. By releasing tokens over a period of time, it can help to prevent this volatility and ensure that the value of the tokens remains stable. Additionally, vesting can be used to control the release of tokens to the public, which can help to prevent a sudden influx of tokens on the market, which again can cause the value of tokens to drop. I feel it's perfect time to introduce the vesting opportunity, as one of the drawbacks in vesting is the perception of trust, as in, do the members trust a company that simply introduces a crypto vesting opportunity without having a solid roadmap forward and the evidence to say they've kept to previous milestones too? Okay, so what I've identified is that with the launch of MySpace and My Home, this shows the members that Dalversal are 100% serious about the future of the platform, reassuring members of the dedication that they have moving forward with the project. Now, if they weren't, I'll just minimize that text. Now, if they weren't serious about this, they wouldn't have introduced that. So given that, listening to that, I'm hoping that members can maybe see the both sides of the coin on this. One of the biggest things we don't want is volatility of the value of that token. We don't want pump and dump, for instance, so that helps in that area. Okay. And the trust thing, I think, is perfect, because I've been doing research on this vesting theory of vesting and what will it bring to not only the company but the members to gain this trust. And I do believe that they've hit it on the nail, because if they weren't going to launch MySpace and My Home, what exactly would there be to help with this vesting 2-year period? So while they're launching that, that is going to support the value of the token. Hopefully, again, guys, not financial advice, but looking at their roadmap for the next 6 months to a year, I think they've hit the nail bang on the target. Now, they've told us about Bitcoin halving. We've identified clearly that MySpace My Home is launching, and there'll be exchanges of DAOT as people build that up. What more could we want? So over to you, Patricia. Do you understand a little bit more about how both parties benefit from this vesting opportunity?
Yeah, I can understand that it's the long-term view versus the short-term view.
100%.
Right. So it's looking at maintaining stability, as you said, and liquidity for the company who need their token to become valuable, and for us to ensure we get some recompense at the end of the day. You know, it doesn't just go downhill as many other coins I've invested in have. So I do get why it's there. I had no problem with the vesting whatsoever. My issue has only been in the way it's been communicated, and
absolutely, yeah, not denying
the way it's been delivered has been a little bit erratic, let's say. And I wanted to pick up on your point. You said you had some plans for your money. That was the problem. A lot of people had other plans for their money. You know, they wanted to buy some land or top up. You know, and then suddenly that opportunity's gone. In your case, you were gonna gift it. You know, I think that was the issue, is the uncertainty. That's the thing, you know, something's taken away, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to highlight a post that I read last night, and it made me cringe. It really did, because I really feel for members that suffered this issue with this recent, allocating of our rewards. And I think it was Robert. I don't think Robert's in the chat group. It's a leader from Germany, I think, pointed this out, that one of or more than one of his team members had it happen to them. Their daily rewards were exchanged straight into DAOT, and they were waiting to purchase a bronze plot. Now, as we know, when you're first in, when you're early in your membership of Dalversal, it takes quite a long time to release them daily rewards, like Trucker Fletch did, get them together in order to either purchase a bronze plot or put an add-on onto that bronze plot. And he said that people were so bitter and, not happy at all. And I can understand that, because what they had gained, they've now got to wait that length of time again. Yeah. So, yes, I've got to admit, there's two sides of this, and it's not all rosy. Okay. All I'm hoping that it was mainly due to the amount of work they've got on their shoulders. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just looking at, what could have been avoided and why it wasn't avoided. They've got a hell of a lot on their shoulders, and obviously tech support. The Zendesk, I will say that as well, and I will keep saying it until it gets sorted out. I'm not 100% happy with the way the Zendesk is working at the moment. Not the response to members, but I'll say it again. The back office of Dalversal in your accounts, when you drop down your profile, there's two areas there that you can click on for support, and they are still directed to the old support, which is dead and buried. And I've asked no end of times, could you fix that? Because members are coming to me saying support's not working, when it actually is, but it's not linked to their account. Okay. So I think it's really important that Dalversal start listening a little bit more and acting on the things that the members are trying to help them. It's as simple as that. We want members to fix these problems, get an answer to these problems, and move forward with Dalversal. And if they don't do it, then obviously the members are going to be a bit miffed about that, aren't they?
Not only that, they're going to start to doubt that you're being heard, that there is a feedback loop.
Exactly.
that isn't something you want to encourage.
100% agree with you there, Patricia. Okay, we've covered the basics of that, and what I want to do is pass it over to you now, because I do believe you read a very interesting article. Was it in the Guardian about money? I'll pass it to you. You explain to the viewers.
Okay. Well, I thought we'd have a bit of light relief, Kev.
Sure, absolutely.
Getting away from, the problems with Diversal and just look at money in general, the value of money. And there has been some very interesting research that I think this article was referring to. And it was talking about the notion of money being both outdated and misleading. And that many people misunderstand what money is, particularly with regard to banking. And therefore, we don't actually press for the kind of relationship with money that we could have if we understood it, And one of the things it was pointing out, I'm going to say, when you pay your money into a bank, and it's called a deposit, isn't it? You deposit.
Yeah.
There used to be a theory that most people still believe, and it's called fractional reserve theory, not to go into too much financial stuff, but that money would be put somewhere, or a proportion of it would be put somewhere ready should anyone want to withdraw some. All right, that's what most people understand, isn't it?
A lot of people still believe that as well.
Yeah, you pay your money in and it sits somewhere in a reserve account somewhere, a proportion of it ready to pay out to people who then want to take money out. But that's not how it works. And it's largely the sort of research of a guy called Richard Werner, but he kind of traced the money flow, and he found that the banks don't take from one area and move it to another. They create money out of nothing, out of thin air. It's astonishing. And when you pay your money in, it goes out to service debt. But it doesn't necessarily flow in a linear fashion, it doesn't go from one area to another. There's no relationship between that, and they can create money, and therefore banks can create huge profits. If you just look at something as simple as a card transaction fee, right? We all use cards every day, don't we? And merchants pay fees on that, and that's paid to the bank. And it's just a continual money flow to the bank for virtually nothing. When we take out a loan, you think, oh, well, that's going to be coming from other people's deposits. No, it's not. It's an IOU.
It's actually created with your signature, with your contract for that loan.
The same goes for mortgages. It's an even bigger scandal.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot. And can I just suggest then, because I feel rather gifted regarding everything regarding this financial catastrophe that we're going through. And I say that because I've been involved with exposing banks and, lending companies for nearly 20 years now. It's long term. I've been involved with that long term. And do you know what? I think this is why I understand crypto to be the better result of money, and why it's going to benefit people more in the future. One thing I find... Sorry, go on.
Well, crypto was a direct response. Bitcoin development was a direct response to the banking crisis that came along in 2009, wasn't it? So it was an alternative to the current system.
Yeah.
So it is ideally something that would replace this corrupted system, which we all believe is safe.
Okay, so in theory, then we can actually say or suggest that the members that don't quite get crypto would be maybe helped a little if they understood the corruption of real money, because something that really pains me when I read through the groups, because you guys know I've got plenty of groups and 12 servers or whatever to moderate. When I read members' posts when they say, I'm going to keep it in the bank where it's safe, and I'm like, oh. You know, it is painful to read it, you know, because those that have been gifted enough to dig and delve and get the facts of how money is created and distributed and used within the community understand the importance of putting in this alternative way of using money or using a store of value or exchange of value. I'm a great believer in what's known as sweat equity. It's basically you get paid for your input. It's like me here, you know, in this hotel, there's 19 rooms, and at the moment there's only me and Sarah here. Okay, but we've got that little job to do, like site security, in order to help us with the bills and stuff like that. So it's an exchange of value. You know, we could do it the other way, and they could charge me high rate of rent and charge me for water and electric and light and everything, but then I would charge them for doing all the work, and it would still balance out the same. But that's when it gets complicated, because don't forget, there's always got to be a middleman. And that middleman to deal with this in the Web2 arena is normally a bank manager or a financial advisor. And this is where things have got where they're the ones that get rich, where we are still struggling on trying to get to the golden light at the end of the rainbow. Never happens. So once members understand, and thank you, Patricia, for bringing this up, because I believe that if members are struggling to understand why so many people want crypto to work, they would understand a lot more if they understood why the money system that we're living with now is so, well, it's broken. You can't fix it. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
It's corrupt. I would go as far to say that.
Absolutely. And in general, it's the people that we used to look up to and they used to help guide us in life that the majority of the corrupt ones. Chris is itching to say something. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. It's been corrupt since the early 1900s. And that's the whole reason why the Titanic was pushed under the water. That's when it's been corrupt since. It's never been designed for the man on the street or lady on the street or whatever they want to be called on the street now. It's always been designed so the ones at the top win and the ones at the bottom lose. Full stop.
Well, I would say that's true. Go ahead, Patricia.
The worst thing, when I read this article, I knew about the banking side. What I didn't realise was that governments work on the same principle.
Yeah.
And so government policy is designed around this idea that, say, I don't know, you want to fund something, that it comes from reserves in the government. But actually it doesn't. It's made out of nothing. And so we not only have monetary policy, but we have government policy that probably is misunderstood by most people who pay their taxes thinking that that money gets redistributed, but actually, again, that services debt. And
might I add that the taxes are illegal as well?
Well, there is that. We're getting very controversial tonight.
No, we're not getting controversial. We're telling the truth. That's what we're here for.
Well, a lot of people wouldn't understand that, but
That's right. Well, talking about controversial subjects, I'm going to have to add it here that I've come up with an idea for when we get into MySpace. Okay. And that idea is regarding a new program, okay, to add to our program schedule list for the week. And that program's going to give me the great, opportunity to tell other members about this. Let me just see if I can bring up, I'm sure I've got it. Yeah, here we are. No, I haven't got the description of it. Not to worry. Okay, I want to introduce a new program, and I'm looking for people that would be interested in being on the panel, just like Chris and Patricia are now. You'd be more than welcome to join us. Now, that program, I want to call it the Controversial Chronicles. Okay. And it could be an hour long. I don't want to take it to 2 hours like our podcast and our training. I just want to keep it to 1 hour every week. And every week there's anywhere between 1 and 5 controversial topics. Okay. And we want to be able to debate it. Yeah, because if we're going into the metaverse where everybody has this freedom of speech, I want to hear and I want to encourage that freedom of speech. So we pick 5. If we don't get 5 done, it doesn't matter. They'll roll over to next week. I've already got 50 questions set up. So we've got a good, yeah. Oh, General Kev doesn't hang about. He gets his foot on the accelerator and is motoring on. But yes, if any viewers would like to take part in that, Buddykins has posted the video of me explaining what that's all about. Okay, I think it'd be a great idea to introduce this so that people had that opportunity to say what they wanted. Obviously, we don't look at drugs and sex and pornography and we don't want to take it too far, but we want it to be a reasonable family show, if you know what I mean. To keep things sensible, So
it's not really like YouTube where I spend all my time on the naughty step, is it, and getting banned?
But no, so let's see what Winnie's put in the chat group. Probably been corrupt a lot longer than that. Well, yes, when you follow the trail back, it does go back a few centuries for sure. Coach Leon, for every dollar you put in the bank inflates $10 to lend someone who needs credit. Absolutely 100% on the nail. That's exactly what happens. Yeah. And that's a fact. I got that result, that answer from the now then, he was a CEO or whatever they call him of the Bank of England years ago. I got the confirmation from the big guy that that's exactly how it works. So like I say, guys, this is why I'm so bullish in the crypto space. I do not take loans. I do not take overdrafts for that reason, because I know how they're created. And if I'm to gain in that arena, somebody somewhere is losing. And that's my principles out the window. That's why I won't do it. I will not take a loan out or an overdraft. Now, with crypto, you've got that opportunity of taking the reins and saying, well, I'm in control now. It's a much better way of doing things. So, yeah, is there anything else you wanted to add about that, Patricia? It's a really interesting topic. I think it's vital that people at least have the basics of knowledge about money.
Well, I think coming back to the education, the idea that we could have discussions about this and teach people, because I think of myself as somebody who's quite educated, but I was never taught it. And so articles like this, really, when you see that in a national newspaper, you do kind of think, people are waking up a bit here, because we need to know to have free choice in the matter of what we do with our money.
Okay. So
we're not taught it in schools, are we?
No. I've learned far more. I learned far more when I left school. There was too many distractions at school. So, Patricia, is it something that you are going to work on in the future? Is that what your aim is?
Well, the article that I read actually was based on a book that's been written, which would be the book I'd write, I think, if I was going to write about finance. But someone's already beat me to it. So, but I would still love to do it as a very grassroots kind of discussion. The financial discussions I've seen seem to go into the stratosphere. They go very high with lots of technical jargon that people don't understand. I'd like to keep it
broad. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they switch off, like, which is what I would do years ago. I would just be like, oh, I can't follow that, so I'm not interested. But when
Mhm.
people put it in a way that I can really relate to
Mm.
and I get it, it's empowering. And so I would love to have those kinds of conversations with people and to
Yeah.
show them that there's another way. There's another way. And I think crypto has got its downsides, but it's
Mhm.
essentially it's about democratization of money.
Okay. So because it's related to crypto, would you like to do that in the future and have a little slot within Metaverse Masterminds every week to talk about something new that you've found out in that arena? Is that something you'd be interested in?
Well, I don't know if I can commit to every week, but I'd certainly like an opportunity to input, regularly. That would be great.
Okay. Okay. We can accommodate that. No problem.
But my whole ethos really is to tie in financial well-being. That's
Mhm.
really what I'm
Mhm.
about. And so it's not about getting rich particularly. It's about what
Mm.
you do with money. It's about what it means to you. And so that's kind of what I'd be focused on, to
Mhm.
get people to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Well,
currently we're so fixed, and even in the crypto world, you see people promoting the idea of get rich quick. It's everywhere.
yeah. Do you
That's
know
a
what?
means to
Yeah.
an end, as if that's it.
I sorry, I thought it was mainly my family that were, anti-crypto and so forth. But it's it's quite shocking actually when you look at the groups of members that have been in those groups for quite some months as well.
Mm,
You think, and like I said previously, it's the education, it's the knowledge, and not everybody has the time to learn. And I think society going back, I would say 20, 25 years ago, I feel strongly that this is why society was turned into this fast way of living. Look at fast food. We weren't meant to sit down and cook a meal every day, which is what happened when we were children. That
mhm.
doesn't happen anymore, as far as I'm aware. Most of it is like, oh, I've got this to do. I'll just grab a burger from the local fast food. I won't say which one. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we've been indoctrinated into rushing all the time. Eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep, work. Do you know what I mean? It's just a cycle like that. And I do believe that this was maybe planned, so that people took their eye off the ball in order for them to, manipulate it the best way they could. That's just my opinion, guys. But to me, it makes sense. Um, when you put Patricia as a great educator, absolutely, yeah. And I think she's hitting on a really good topic there. And like I say, Patricia, anytime that you want to talk to us and the viewers of something that you found new in that arena, by all means, please come on to the show. And I'm sure the viewers would love it as well. That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I will. Um, I do want to kind of broaden the remit of discussion, because for me, this is all about empowering people. That's really what it's about.
100%, absolutely. And I feel, I got to be honest, I was thinking, like I said, when we went out to Gibraltar, it gave us the time to switch off. I find it difficult to switch off when I'm at home because I've got all my technology here and it's doing this, doing that, doing the other. When you go away, you're in a different environment, and we had sun. We don't often get that in the UK. So, we wanted to make the best of that. But it gave us a time to sit down and really study where we've come from in the last 3 years regarding crypto. And oh my God, the education is crazy. What we've learned over this time. And we went right back to where we first heard of the first meme coin. I won't mention it for obvious reasons, but, and the amount, and I'm not saying I lost a lot of money, I haven't. But we suffered that bear market. We got introduced to crypto when it was at the peak of the bull market. And we was like, oh, we're away here. I love the idea of this. This is exactly what we want. And all we've been done is pushed into learning. And that's a fact. We've been pushed into learning. So I want the viewers to understand that even when we look at DAOversal and what they did a few days ago, can we just look at what's happened over the last 2 or 3 years with us, most of us? We've been pushed into areas where we've had to learn. And I do believe that this recent hiccup with DAOversal is very symbolic to what's happened over the last 3 years. We've been forced into a situation that we've got to learn. Otherwise, what do? Just get annoyed, turn it off, don't plug in. Well, that's not good for neither us or the platform. And I do believe, and I will say it, they have done a good job. And I know that's going to wind some people up, and I don't want that to happen. I really don't. But I do think people will realize this a little bit clearer further down the line when they're getting their monthly, what shall we call it? It's almost like a universal basic income, I guess, isn't it? Where you're allocated X amount every month for the next 2 years. I suppose we could look at it like that, because don't forget, guys, once the 15th of April comes, you'll still be able to operate your account in the way you were doing before. This is just an addition to that. So you'll get your universal basic income, for instance, for a month, but you've still got the workings of your account in the background. Now, I'm as eager as every single member that's watching this video and watches it in the future of finding out exactly what's going to happen after the 15th. And I know Patricia's starting to smile a little bit. I can see it coming, yeah? Because we all want to know. And I've got to say it, guys, we don't know yet. We don't know what's going to happen. We have had the reassurance that withdrawals will be reintroduced. I do believe it'll be exchange into DAOT, and then you can withdraw by that. That sort of stuff we've picked up on. But guys, Metaverse Masterminds, like I said, we will debate it, we'll talk about it, but we don't announce it until it's been announced by DAOversal. And I'm itching to wait and find out exactly what's going on. Excited? Absolutely. Absolutely. Mainly because of the introduction of MySpace and My Home at the very same time. And a lot of people turn around. I've been speaking to people about this DAOT vesting opportunity, and they've said, why are you so chilled about it? I said, at the end of the day, like I've just explained, it's given me further education, okay? Because I trust DAOversal anyway. I am pro DAOversal. One thing I will say, though, and I do want to mention this because this has come to light, that those that are on video while we're going through this volatile stage with DAOversal are not paid shills. Is that right, Patricia? I think you understand what we're talking about, yeah?
Well, it was a comment I read somewhere that this was the paid shills were the only way of getting info now, which I took to mean people like you and I that stand out, but we're just members like everyone else. We're not paid.
Absolutely. I can't shout it from the rooftops any more than what I am doing. We are not, we never have been, and we never will be paid by DAOversal to say anything. General Kev says it as it is, and it does upset some people sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's the truth, okay? And it's the way I see it, and it's the way that the platform is going to move forward. At the end of the day, guys, nobody here is paid by the company. We are here to help other members that have been in exactly the same situation as us, because nobody else stood forward. It's as simple as that. And when you stand forward, that does not mean you're doing it for the company. You're doing it for the members as well, The big thing about this is, yes, we are pro DAOversal, because if we're completely negative about it, where does that send it if we want this TFA to work, for instance, This is a two-way road. This isn't a one-way street, And I've said this in all of my broadcasts, Do I get upset about it? Damn right I do. I'm human, okay? I've given the example of my opportunity to gift to new members from my heart. And when somebody stands in the way of that, that does hurt. It really does. But I'm not going to kick off because I understand what's going on, as painful as it can be. Why? Because we've been through a hell of a lot more pain in the past, guys, haven't we? That's all I can say on the matter. It really is. How are you fixed for time, Patricia? Are you okay?
Yep, I've got till 9, Kev.
Okay, all right. Just a quick question then. Are you okay, and have you set up your DAOT wallet in your back office, ready for the vesting opportunity to pay out? Did you get that done okay?
I did, yeah.
Awesome.
I followed one of your videos, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it wasn't difficult. I mean, but I haven't got an awful lot that will be vested, I have to say. Some people have got a lot more than I have. But yeah, that's all set up.
I just wanted to make sure that you'd set it up and it was already set up, so that
it's already, yeah, all ready to go. Yeah.
Okay. All right, just reading the chat box.
Okay,
I just want to point out then, guys, that I've got to stress it. One of the most important statements of this call tonight is get that DAOT wallet sorted out in your back office, please. And I'll tell you why. Because if you don't, you won't be getting that monthly DAOT, allocated amount. Okay. I understand that some people don't like MetaMask. Okay. Some people don't like, what's the other one I did? Exodus. Okay. Some people want Trust Wallet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a tutorial for Trust Wallet members. Okay. I can't cover all of them, guys. I'm limited for time, but I will do that one because there's been quite a few people ask for that one. Okay. So bear with us, guys. I'll get that done either late tonight or tomorrow. Okay. Because I want members to be able to gain the value of this vesting opportunity. Now, those people that were dead against it and they've said, I didn't give consent for this to happen, even they are going to benefit from this monthly vesting amount. And this is what I wanted to get across. Some people won't accept it until they see the results of what happened, because ultimately all they can see at the moment is locked assets, open debate, DAOT. This is why I titled this as I did this evening, because they just see it locked up. And we all know where that came from. Hyperverse, where we was getting all our tokens locked up and we couldn't get access to them. They didn't release them on a monthly vesting schedule, if you like. Now, for those people that listen to that explanation of what vesting is, hopefully that's helped them to understand that this isn't the company just saying, well, we're going to hold them and we're going to hold you to ransom. It's not about that, guys. Okay. These guys are on video at least once a week with the Italian leaders, which I appreciate. I learn from that as well. So, let's just ride the waves, guys. We're getting through the storm. What we got? 10 days now, isn't it? Is it the 15th? It's 15th, isn't it? When we can start looking at what is the new system going to allow us to do. That's the way I see it. Tips, hints and tips. I'm going to say it because, again, all you viewers, this is not financial advice, but General Kev and another group of members, I won't name them because I might not want me to, but another few members suggested that when you get your daily rewards from your TFA packs, your TFA released amount, don't withdraw them straight away. Just in case, I mean, we've got 5 minutes now, so it's probably not going to happen, yeah? But that's where I fell foul of 4,000 DU or RCDU. Now, that's a lot. That's a lot. Overnight, it was just taken and swapped into DAOT. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. Yeah, I was bitter at the time and I was a bit pissed off. Yeah. But when you sit back and say, okay, what will that 4,000 generate me over the next 2 years? Okay. Is that the right way? Is that the wrong way? In general, Kev's life, this is how I operate. Sometimes we can't control what's happened. Sometimes the vote, if you wanted to vote no, you would have been disappointed because it came out yes. But we can't change it, guys, okay? Sitting complaining about it isn't making anybody sad apart from yourself. That's what I've learned in life, yeah? I can complain about anything in life, but who's it really affecting? Me. So there's no point. Sometimes we just have to get on with what's happening. I'm not making excuses for them, but I'm trying to help people to understand that the more we complain about it, it's us that's getting the blunt of it, nobody else. Because what are they doing? They're creating my space, my home, and so forth, because they're too busy to take on board anything else. So this is the way I try and balance it out. Chris, how do you feel about that? You know, the way I've just explained it, where, because I know you turned it off for quite some days, didn't you? It got you frustrated, and you know, you saw. I'll let you explain anyway. No, that's it. No.
Is it on?
Yeah, it is now. Yeah,
Sodding
you're
thing.
on.
Yeah, I'm having loads of trouble with it tonight. Yeah, I switched it off because I got fed up with watching what was going on. And at the end of the day, they're building a new system, aren't they? And there's going to be ups and downs and things that we've got to put up with. At least at the end of the day, we should have the knowledge and the trust that we're going to have something at the end of it. Where you look at the banks and you ain't going to have note at the end of that, are you? We've got something to look forward to.
Well, this is what I'm looking at, and hopefully, excuse me, hopefully Patricia can keep up with a small amount regular to give us that information of what is happening with the banking system.
Well, going back a little bit, I had to nip off for a minute or two, and I missed out on it. But going back a little bit, when the whole system, in my opinion, has been manufactured and engineered so that we don't have time to sit down and work things out for ourselves. I mean, Stevie Wonder could work that out. Stevie Wonder could see that. And I noticed this. We've been a lorry driver for all those years. It was actually 40 years ago this month I actually started my career in lorry driving. And in that time, working on my own in the cab all the day, you got a chance to sit down and work things out. Not like everybody else that was in a factory that had all the distractions. And I thought I'd worked a lot out for myself over the years. But when the madness of the COVID came to town and everybody was locked down and they're all watching telly and the Netflix and garbage like that, everybody had the chance to take a step back and say, well, forget all that rubbish there. We'll concentrate on what's really happening. But what happened, and what I've found with humanity, with majority of it, they'd sooner sit back, take the grief and put up with it because it's a softer ride, believe it or not, than getting off the butts and working things out, sticking their head above the parapet, getting banned off Facebook for opening a gob, getting shot down by neighbours and friends because you've opened your gob and said something that you'd like people to learn and think about. And the same thing's happening with this. People are looking maybe in the wrong direction. They're seeing what's gone wrong in the past. They're seeing what's gone wrong in the world. And they're looking at this and, oh, well, we've stopped this, they've stopped that. They're going down the pan again. You've got to realise that to develop something, you're going to have days when things ain't good.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not a smooth road all the way. And we've got to take the shit with the good. Excuse my French. We've got to take the rubbish with the good. And we've got to learn that, it isn't all a comfy ride. And there'll be days when things don't go our way, when we don't like it.
Well, we learned that as kids. This is part of growing up and growing into an ecosystem like this. We learned this as teenagers. There were certain boundaries, and if you cross those boundaries or you got it wrong, you suffered the consequences, But what I will say is, I'm pleased I did that. I'm pleased I did push the boat out a little bit much, because you do get stung and you do step back and realize that life is not just handed to you on a plate. It's not just an easy ride.
I took a ride down to our allotment this afternoon, or should I say the swamp, as you just can't get on the land. And I bumped into another lass that's got a couple of plots away from ours. We were talking about it, and she was saying that the state of the world and everything, it's just going absolutely bonkers. And you've got she's about the same age as me, and she says, luckily, for our age, when we were teenagers, most of us were brought up to look after ourselves. And if you get knocked down, you get back up again. And we was talking about Ellie's generation, the generation of kids nowadays that haven't got a clue what we've lived through. And Ellie watches a lot of documentaries with me, and some of them she's been watching just lately. She's been absolutely gobsmacked because of the things that we did have, and mainly the things that we didn't have, the amount of technology. And the amount of technology that nowadays takes them drifting off onto another planet. I know the metaverse is on another planet now, but I'm on about, how can you put it, what they're programming into the kids. Like, they don't educate the kids at school that what I'm educating Ellie now. I don't know what they educate them to be up for. They're just basically training them to be robots to go straight into work, to do a job, not ask questions.
Yeah, I think Patricia hit on this earlier on, because you get all this education, this information, people get bored with it and they don't absorb it. It's got to be delivered in a way that people accept it and actually want it. And this is what we aim to do in MySpace and Metaverse Masterminds going forward. Go.
How are they trying to educate the kids to think for themselves? I mean, when we went to school, how many things when we left school do we actually use? I remember about pi r squared being 3.1742, I think it was. Well, that was mainly because my granddad knocked it into my head with a hammer, didn't he? He was the chief statistician at Scunthorpe Steelworks, and we had to know that. But why? Why? They don't teach kids the basic. Now, we had Ellie's report come through from the education officer this week. She did her assessment in January, and she'd been sitting on it. So I rung her up on Monday and stung her. Sorry, Tuesday, and I stung her, and I says, look, Ellie wants that report. We put it in the report so we can go back and look what we've done over the last 3 years. And basically, she's been sitting on it. So she wrote it up, sent it back. And it basically says that Ellie can survive on her own because she's learned how to cook. She knows how to grow stuff. She knows how to survive in this world. Excuse me. Where most of her mates are wandering around on TikTok and zombieing. Yeah, she goes on it every now and then.
So the alternative view of education is strong in this area.
Because can't open a tin of beans, let alone cook it. You give them a tin opener and a can, it's like, oh, what's that? Whereas Ellie is, how can I put it? I'm bringing her up in a way so that she knows what a khaki world we're living in, but she can also accept it. And there's things that's on television and on the world going around us, and Ellie's picking up on it. And there's things that she's picked up on this week, and she's questioning everything. Well, the kids nowadays don't question anything.
Which is certainly on the right path, Chris. Right, I'm going to have to cut you off there, mate, because I do believe Patricia's got to get off. That's all. Is that right, Patricia? It's just gone now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've got a full day tomorrow as well, and I've had a full day today, so it's
absolutely
time
fine
for me to kind of bow out. But thank you so much, and I'll have a think about what I'm going to bring to the next one, and
awesome. I'm sure the viewers are looking forward to that as well. I certainly am. Cool. And thank you for your presence, Patricia. It's been absolutely great. I did watch your last video, actually. I forgot to tell you. And again, wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. So anybody that wants to watch Patricia's YouTube channel, go ahead. Is it the Wary Cryptonaut? Am I right?
Wary Cryptonaut, yeah. Wary by name, wary by nature, yeah.
Absolutely. Right. So get over there, guys. Get yourself subscribed to Patricia's YouTube channel, and we'll hopefully see you again next week, Patricia. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, take care, everyone. Bye for now. Bye.
Take care. See you again soon.
You take care. Okay, guys, we're going to go into a quick intermission before we continue with the next part of the show. Okay. Thank you. Okay, guys, welcome back to Metaverse Masterminds, episode 26. And thank you very much, Patricia, for helping us co-host and be part of the panel for the first half of this episode. Okay, guys, so what do I want to continue with now? I'm just going to double announce what members should be doing and not forgetting. And that is that the DAOversal wallets have to be added to your DAOversal account, okay? Your DAOT wallets need adding to your DAOversal accounts, all right? I've done a tutorial for MetaMask. I've done a tutorial for Exodus, okay? And I am going to do a tutorial for the Trust Wallet too. So I'm going to keep driving it into you guys because I want you guys to, get those monthly rewards. If you don't do your wallet, guys, it's going to be detrimental to your value, okay? What else did I want to cover about that? There was something to do with, that was it, contract address. Yeah. Some people have been thinking it's a contract address that you put in your back office. It's not. That contract address is how you find the DAOT wallet within your MetaMask or your chosen platform. Okay. Now, Buddykins has added it to the chat room. You've got your DAOT wallet to DAOversal Exodus version or your MetaMask version. Don't forget, I'll do the Trust version tomorrow or maybe later this evening. So if you're confused about that, guys, hit us up in Telegram or Discord and we'll talk it through with you. I don't want people screwing it up and then wondering why. Those tutorials are simple, step-by-step guides, and they're easy to follow, okay? Right, so we're going to leave that problem regarding the vesting schedule, and that it's no good speaking about our monthly allocated amount or anything like that, because people will just get speculative about it and expect things to happen when they might not happen. So we're not going to talk any more about that this evening. What I would like to talk about, though, is where is DAOversal going next? Putting the vesting schedule aside, we are now going to be looking at, very shortly, MySpace and My Home, okay? Now, some of you guys might have noticed that I've been tinkering about with avatars, because let's not forget, guys, when we go into MySpace, we will be entering MySpace with an avatar, okay? And Buddykins is really hot on the ball this evening. She's put the link in, the YouTube link, where I did a brief video. I'm going to play the video in a second, actually, for all viewers to see. And basically what it is about creating your avatar in preparation for entering MySpace. Now, while we're waiting, because like I said, we've still got 10 days where we can't really move forward with anything. We can't do any withdrawals. We can't, in my case, I can't, gift any to new members at all. We got 10 days where we can sit and twiddle our thumbs, or we can look at what we can develop. So what I decided to do was, you can see me as the host of this call. I thought I'd try and do it where my avatar is the host of the show. And I actually got it. I've worked it out. I've got it connected. I've got a sample, a demo of what I produced. Now, this is a beta version, obviously. There's a lot of tweaking to do to it, but I just want to play this to you guys. It's only a couple of minutes, and it'll give you an idea of what we can do when we go into Metaverse, into MySpace. So if you guys are content creators, or if you have a team that you will be going into MySpace with and you'll be doing your calls in MySpace, you can actually do what I've developed here too. So just sit back for a couple of minutes, guys, and just take a look at what I've done here. Hey guys, good evening and welcome to General Keb's first MySpace and Ready Player Me video tutorial. It's more of a question, really. The question being, are you ready for MySpace? Dalversal Metaverse is about to launch within the next couple of weeks or so. Have you guys even thought about how you're going to enter MySpace? Well, like you know, guys, we all need an avatar to play with. And here's mine. You're looking at me on video right now. Yeah, it's General Kev here. I've just popped in to make sure that you're going to get prepared, ready and waiting for when MySpace is launched. Okay, guys, what do you think to it? Leave a comment in the box below. It's not as hard as you think it is to create an avatar, let alone use it to produce a show. Hope you're ready for MySpace, guys. It won't be long before we launch now. See you on the other side. Bye-bye for now. Okay, guys, so what do you think to that? I mean, this is the sort of technology that we're going to be walking into with MySpace. Now, Pam said in the chat box, we like seeing you guys. Absolutely, Pam, not a problem. It's still going to be the same as this. We're not turning it all avatar based, but what I will be doing at some point is introducing it could be a half an hour program a week where other members have the ability to join me in the studio with their avatars too. We could have a half an hour avatar show. We could talk about what we've learned in the metaverse, for instance, or I could be an avatar and everybody could be just them, So it's showing the abilities of what we can do with the Web3 technology that we're walking into. If I can look that much younger, I might have to do it. You're not the first person to mention that it knocked years off me. I think it was Patricia, when I sent her the video, she said it's not years off you, better than Olay or whatever it is. Came, is it? The face cream. So yeah, J-Lo, love this. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a little bit of synchronization to do with it, and it's as easy as this. You can have as many avatars as you like, all on your own account, and you literally press Control and 1, Control and 2, Control and 3, and you can flick between the different avatars depending on what you're presenting in the show. It's wonderful what is available. You don't have to pay for it, it's free. So like I say, guys, watch this space, because this is the sort of thing that I'm going to be tinkering with for the next 10 days. We're not even in MySpace yet, but I know that this platform is capable of doing exactly what you're seeing now in MySpace. Okay, so like I say, any members that want to achieve that, if they host their own shows and if they don't know how to go about it, I will be creating a basic tutorial for them as well. So, okay, Chris, I don't think you will be hosting your own shows, but what do you think to that example of what can be achieved for MySpace? That's just the beginning, mate.
Well, at least I'll have hair.
Oh yeah, you can have as much hair as you like in there.
It shows how technology is moving forward, doesn't it? It
Yes.
really does show that how the world's changing. And when we get back to looking at what we was doing on Hyper, we never had anything like this on Hyper, did we?
100%.
This is the move forward that people maybe aren't seeing. That a lot of people maybe haven't got the avatar or done that yet, but this is going to be in the next few weeks when that's starting up and moving on. Mm-hmm. And this is what we all need to look at, is that we're not standing still doing one thing. We're moving forward, and we're taking the technology or we're letting are we letting it take us? Are we taking the technology forward? Either way you look at it, technology is moving forward, and we're moving with it. And by this time next year, I think there'll be that many changes and that much going on that people will be forgetting about all these little hiccups now.
Of course,
it was just a thing in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, I've no doubt about that. What I will add though is that that avatar that I just showed you guys on screen there. This is an example. I want to try and make it as easy as possible, so members understand how the Web3 metaverse and AI is all part of what's happened there. It's simple, guys. Yeah, my face is on the video now. It uses that data. Okay. Now, what AI does, it kicks in and it looks at every part of your body, your nose, your mouth, your expressions, your cheeks, your forehead, and everything like that. And it maps it. AI maps it round one eye. I think there's 12 mapping points round each eye. So if you raise your eye or close your eye, those mapping points move, and it's AI that predicts what you're going to do with the tone that you're talking. So if you're talking as a surprised person, your eyes normally go up, your eyebrows go up, and AI is using that data in order to make it look more authentic. Now, you guys would have noticed there the lip sync and everything wasn't perfect, but this is what we're developing at the moment. This is what we're looking into to fine tune. And with the software that's available free as well, guys, you've got the ability to fine tune it even more manually. So even though the AI is there for us to use and it's one step ahead of us, we still have the ability to control that AI. This is what I love about AI. Okay. When people, just cut AI out completely because, the robots could take over the world or whatever, what I do is look at where AI can be beneficial. It can do this. I mean, this is in the form of content creation and education, if you like, yeah. But I will be using this to encourage people to come into the metaverse, into my space, and see what's available. Now, this could be members that are already in DAOversal, or this could be big investors like, some of the big companies, Microsoft, Sony, people like that may be interested in us making use of this technology rather than just going in and chatting in a group environment, which is what I see in other platforms. I'm not going to name them, it's not fair to, but I've studied the AI metaverse platforms, and they don't really have this ability. It's mainly where you just go in, chat, and have a dance about with them, and that's it, So I'm looking at taking it that next step forward and getting people to understand exactly how it works and what we can do as a member to develop it further. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, my opinion on AI, I am one of those that don't trust it and I don't like it. But, and this is a big BUT, the reason why I don't like it is because it's been around a lot longer than what a lot of people know. It's been around for a long, long time. It has been around for a long time.
Oh,
it's just that now we're being given it.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I don't like is it's going to be good. It will help a lot of people, and it's helped us with certain things up to now. The only thing that is wrong with it is that it's going to be used in the wrong ways against us and against people and it's going to be used by the naughty people at the top who use it for the bad means. But provided it's used in the correct way, in the correct manner, and what it was used for, at the end of the day, you can't stop technology, and it is going to help us if it's used properly.
You can't stop things that happen like that on an individual basis. Simple as that. What I will say is if you put it alongside alcohol, for instance, or smoking cigarettes, or something that I would class as maybe a controversial topic, you can't stop people from doing it. And there's good and bad in both arenas. There's people that drink a lot that are really nice people, and yet you'll get some people that drink a lot that are absolute nightmares, so it depends. It's just the same thing, Chris. Yeah, you can get sensible road users and you can get absolute nightmare road users, so there's good and bad in everything, isn't there?
Talking about road users, mate, the last couple of days me and Ellie have been out in the car, and twice within 2 miles of our home, literally, we've had two imbeciles in cars nearly take us out and write us off. So And we've been noticing it a lot with motorists as well at the moment. A bit off subject, but the people's manners and the standards of the way they're leading their lives and the pressing their actions onto other people, which goes back to everything that we've been talking about at the start. The whole world is going bonkers because people just don't take the time. I mean, we had a guy come off a roundabout this morning, come around the roundabout, cut me off, and luckily I'm awake when I'm out in the car. Really, I'm awake. And I saw him coming in the mirror, so I braked, and Ellie looked and said, "Dad, what are you doing?" I said, "Look at this clown behind us," and he literally cut round us and cut us off in the lane. If we'd been going straight, what I'm getting at is people aren't observing what's going on around them. They're just not observing what's going on around them. Like you was on about the wallets and that.
Yeah.
It's not going to be us that miss out on it. It's going to be them that miss out on it. And which is where people need to take a few steps back and just chill out, and calm down, and look at what's going on.
We're here to help them. We're here to help them. And the thing is, I want to be able to continue with this show, describing everything that's in the DAOversal arena. It can be really complicated to most people, but I want to break it down so much so that people are not scared of it and not afraid of trying. I saw one guy earlier on in Telegram, and he was ranting that nobody was helping him, and he had no idea what a wallet was. And I do feel it for those guys. I really do, because it's evident what's happened in the past, but we don't hold it against them. We say, okay, guys, let's take some time. Let's have a look at this. But the member has to realize that they have to take it on board. They have to look at the video and try and understand it, because otherwise they just become reliant on that person that's helping them. Okay. I'm not saying that we don't want to help people. What I'm saying is that they have a job to do as well. When you enter the crypto, it's symbolic. It's like a car. Yeah. If you want to be able to travel the world in a car, you've got to take that responsibility to pass a test in order to safely travel around the world in a car. Do you see what I'm saying? You can't just jump into a car and get the next passerby, pull them in and say, "I need to drive. Will you take me somewhere?" And it's the same thing, really. Symbolically, you're looking and saying, but where's your responsibility? You've got the car. You want to do this. So why aren't you learning how to drive? It's just another life skill, if you like. And I've got to be honest, crypto and the blockchain is a life skill that will not be wasted, guys. It doesn't matter where you are. In 5 years' time, you will be using it somewhere. Go ahead, Chris.
When you're in the centralized world with the banks and everything like that, somebody does it for you. The minute you step foot in the crypto world, it's on your back. You're taking back. You're not sort of stepping out to let other people do it for you. You're stepping out because you're taking back your sovereignty. What's the word I've been trying to spit out? You're taking back your responsibility. You're taking back. You're in charge.
And it's the most powerful thing anybody can do.
It's a very scary thing. And there's a world of stuff out there to learn, and loads of it still goes over my head. But I've learned so much in the last 2 or 3 years, and I've started watching videos of different people on about crypto. So I'm sort of branching out a little bit to what other people are doing with crypto, about coins and markets and this, that, and another. And it's widening me up. But when you step into the crypto world, it's such a scary place that, we try and help each other. But at the end of the day, the main thing is you step into that world because you want to take back your control. So you can't sort of stand back and say, well, I've stepped into this big, scary world, but I don't know what I'm doing, and it's your fault and your fault. And no, it's not. It's you've got to have the guts to stand up and say, look, my hands are up, I'm here. Like I've come onto this show, on this panel saying, look, I'm a bit of a div. I'm clever in other subjects. I'm not in this, and I'm learning. I have a little motto. Nobody was born knowing everything.
That's right.
But everybody was born knowing nothing.
Yeah.
And the only way to do it is by learn. And nobody was born into crypto. Nobody was born. When you're born, you don't know nothing. You have
We
to be
can't
taught.
walk or talk. Yeah, that's right.
No, your body, your heartbeats, and all these other bodily function works because it's all wired up in here already. But learning the rest of it, you've got to learn it. Now, when it's like I say, when you're uncentralized with all the banking and all that stuff, somebody does it for you, but somebody also rips you off.
Yes.
So when you step into this world, people can and people do rip you off.
Okay, so
it's a fact of life, but you've got to ask for help. Don't panic. Ask for help, and there's always somebody about there will try and help you put you on your feet.
Okay, can I just add one bit to that, because it's important what you're saying, that the viewers understand exactly what this means, yeah? And if I just sum that whole topic up with one word, consistency. Now that covers not only the trainer or your team leader or your upline, whatever you want to call them, that also applies to the member as well. Like Trucker Fletcher's just demonstrated, it's the consistency of him coming into the show every time it's on. Okay, he may not understand it fully, but the consistency is there. So every time he comes in, he'll think, hang on a minute, I learned that last week, but now I've learned a little bit more about it. So, you know, one thing that I think viewers can learn from this is don't be put off by technology. You know, some people take it really easy. I learned technology really easy because I've been working with computers all my life, yeah, where other people don't. There's nothing wrong with that. This is the beauty and the diversity of the members that are within this ecosystem. The main purpose is that those that want to help others, though, allow them to do it. You won't be able to allow them to do it if you're not consistent. Okay. So if you keep up that consistency of turning up, Leon agrees. Yeah, that's the truth. We all come into this world with zero consciousness. Absolutely. Yeah. Nobody can walk the minute they're born. They have to learn that, and they have to do it repetitively over and over again. Jayla, let's bring some of these. We haven't done this for a bit. Let's give some of these the honor that they deserve. Yeah. Because these are absolutely true, guys. Yeah. A toddler will not walk until it learns how to do it. And to teach a toddler, you have to encourage it. The more you encourage it, the easier it becomes. And before you know it, off they go. And they're teaching other toddlers how to walk, you know. And this is what we look at in the crypto world. Those of us that it sinks in easily with, and don't get me wrong, guys, it's not easy. There's a lot of technical stuff there. But my purpose is those things that are easy for me, pass them on. You know, forward that gift, if you like, so that people can make the best out of this platform. I have no doubts whatsoever. Let me just change this and show Jenny's. Big shout out for J-Lo there. Absolutely agree. What I want to do, guys, is just explain that, you know, the crypto space, even though you might say, oh, it's not for me. It's not for me. Yeah. Are you sure it's not for you? Because like I said, in time, give it another 5 years or so, the majority of everything that we live with on a day-to-day basis will be blockchain based. Okay. I know of many shops and supermarkets that are changing over. Your doctor's records, your dental records are all going on the blockchain, everything like that. They're behind the scene. Okay, I don't know what the conversation was earlier on, but we said that a lot of the things were, it's AI, I think, that AI has been introduced years after it was actually given birth to. You know, AI has been around for years and years and years, yeah? But we're just getting to see it now. Now, we can look at the latest mobile phone, the latest technology for the military. Do you know what I mean? They're miles ahead of what we understand. They really are. But we're given the opportunity to use it. Look at IBM and computers when they were introduced to the home. It was unheard of. computers were not a home appliance. They just didn't exist. Yeah, they were office appliances. They was just for secretaries and, you know, companies to keep records on. But look at what they've done now, and look at and like I said, there's good and bad in everything. But in all fairness, the internet has created my world with me. I'll say not for me, but with me, because I focused on the very bit that I enjoy using. So I'm looking at DAO and saying, well, I'm going to do exactly that in DAO. There's areas that I'm not interested in, but there's areas that I am interested in. But the point is, the platform is big enough and it's expanding as we go forward in order to accommodate everyone. So yeah, absolutely, Chris. And like I say, it's interesting on how people evolve eventually. I mean, we've got family members. Look at Auntie Jan. Yeah, she goes on the internet. You'd have never thought it years ago. Not 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Look at the old man. He's on the internet. Now,
Absolutely.
he was less into anything technology. He was even less technologically minded than I am.
He used to struggle. He used to struggle with the VHS tape recorder, you know, a video recorder, didn't he?
Yeah.
Ankalumba, welcome. And it's a new name to the group, I think. So thank you for joining us this evening. Companies are years ahead. Let's give you a shout out. Companies are years ahead of the tech that they release to ensure market security. That is a good point. There's a good point, yeah, because there's plenty of people that'll jump on your idea, patent it, and make an absolute fortune out of it. Yes, I agree. Yeah. So comment that is.
The technology that we're getting into now is, if we can get into it now, we're basically hitting the floor running when the banks, the governments, so all the everybody with a tech introduce it. We hit the floor running. We're not going to be left behind.
No.
And we've got a good advantage with this, with the crypto and that, of getting a head start, because the banks are going. I was talking to the farmer, a friend of mine, where I stored my van, and I thought this week that the bank had put some money into his account out of my account, and it turns out they'd made a cods up of it. We've got it sorted. They paid him more than what they should have done, and he tried to get a meeting with his bank or his daughter's bank to sort something out, and it took them 3 weeks to get into the bank to see them. Now, all around here, all of our local banks are shut down. So it's obvious what's going on. It's obvious that we're all going to be going. It's all going to be going online, and it's all going to be going crypto. It's going to be going cashless if they can get away with it.
I'm pleased you brought that up, Chris, because it was only last week. It's since we've been back from Gibraltar anyway, I got an email, and it was an invite to my bank, my main bank in the UK, Barclays Bank, yeah. I got an invite to go to the local library to meet the bank servicemen, yeah, you know, the bank tellers or whatever they call them, to discuss anything that I was concerned about. But they did say we can't do anything regarding financial transactions.
Yes.
It's like, well, why would I come then? And what are you doing in the library?
I got about two months ago, invited me to go to the Brig Library and say, come and discuss your finances, but we can't give you any money. Well, what's the point? Why don't you just leave the bloody banks open?
So this is the crazy thing about it. You know, if we desperately needed to talk to a bank manager, I mean, when I had a computer shop, yeah, I often used to go in and talk to them about different things of what we could do financially. You can't do that now. It's impossible. This is where crypto jumps in, because you learn from people like us who've got no financial interest in teaching you anyway. Yeah. At the bottom line, you learn free of charge, and then you're in control of your own financial well-being.
Something we have noticed, me and Ellie was out and about. We do a lot of sniffing around and tramping around, seeing what's going on. All the banks have been shut down around here. And Brig used to have, God almighty, how many banks did it have? It had as many banks, it had pubs. and you couldn't get from one end of the town to the other you couldn't do it physically in every pub and get a pint. You'd be hammered before you got a third of the way across the town. We used to try it as teenagers, didn't we?
I tried many times.
We never succeeded. It was a pub crawl, and you ended up crawling after about the third or fourth pub. But we had as many banks. Now they've shut them all down. Now we've noticed that they're turning them into these loan shark places. Come and get a loan, and you'll pay extortionate figures, or come and pawn your stuff off, and we'll give you money for it. But we have also noticed a couple of banking hubs, proper banking hubs, opening up in shops. It is just a banking hub.
Yeah.
Now we're going to look into that more over this next few days, because I set one up in Barton, and there was one in Brig. We noticed it in Brig, and it went overhead. But we noticed it in Barton yesterday, and Ellie said, "Dad, why are they opening up banking hubs, but they're shutting the banks down?" So we're going to have a go. We're going to have a look in one and have a sniff and ask questions, because obviously there's something. They're up to something. Something's going on. They're not opening up proper banks, but they are opening up like a bank shop, like a bank used to be, with all the windows and that. No cash machines, but it's called a banking hub. Come and discuss it with us. So we're going to do.
Certainly transitioning into different times, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
Chris. Well, whatever you find out, you and Ellie, bring it to next week's show, and let's chat to Patricia, Cryptonaut.
I've just remembered that. We'll log that one in.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to wrap this show up. It's 25 to 10 UK time. Again, we've had an interesting and I believe open debate regarding the DAOT and the vesting opportunity that we got given is rather controversial. And I think at the bottom line, the way people can get through this is by education, understanding exactly what benefits not only the company, but the member as well. And I do want to stress the fact that the more education we get on why they did it, I think the easier it is to actually understand it. Okay. Again, guys, I say it every time. If you want to, message us regarding any of this, if you'd like to join us, next week on the panel live on video, you're more than welcome to. Just hit me up in Telegram or Discord, and we'll look into doing that. Pam's put, let's show this one. Thanks, Chris, and great job, Ellie. Absolutely. And Ellie's in the perfect situation. How old is she now, Chris?
16 in November.
15 years old. She's in the perfect position now in order to set out her foundation stones for the future. The education what she's getting now is far more valuable than what she would be getting in a state-run school. Absolutely.
And the education officers actually put that in Ellie's report in writing.
Yeah.
And you can't say something.
Yeah, you can't deny the facts, can you? Okay, guys, that's wonderful. And thanks for your input there, Pam. Right, we're going to bring episode 26 to an end now. Another great show, Kevin, Sarah, and Chris, and Winnie, and Fred, and Wilma, and everybody else. Episode 26 was called Locked Assets Open Debate DAOT. Don't forget, guys, there's always two sides to a story. There's always two sides to a coin, and there's always a result. And what we tend to try and do here is get the best result possible. And the only way of doing that is involving community, bringing community together, talking like we have done this evening, and openly debating what's happening within the platform. Okay, guys, Chris, do you want to have any last words before we disappear? It's good to get back on the show, even though we only missed 1 week. So we will be back next Friday. So any last words from you, Chris?
Yeah, just an extra special take care, everybody, this month. I don't study it seriously, but I watch astrology and I watch what's going on in the world, and I've got watch what's going on with certain things. April is going to be a roller coaster in more ways than one. You've got that eclipse over in America, and we've got lots of stuff going on in the world that shouldn't be going on. Just making sure you're safe out there and keep your heads below the parapet, and just take it safe, take it steady, and make sure you're here next week and every week
Okay, let's just add a little bit to that, Chris. The halving of Bitcoin is massive as well, and I think what you're doing here is highlighting the major events that are happening in April. Okay, can affect the energy of people. Okay,
Most definitely.
emotionally, it can affect them as well. So,
Yeah.
good wise words, Chris. People, be aware of this. Be aware that there's some major changes here in the UK. April's the new tax year, for instance, and considering the volatility of all the financial institutions worldwide, let's keep our fingers on the button and let's hope that we get through this together well.
Keep yourself safe. Keep your feet grounded on the floor, and just when the wind blows, lean into it and just take it steady. And just don't get out your heads, because people are going to go nuts this month. There's a lot of changes and a lot of things going down. Just let it go behind you. Let it go over your head. Just keep hanging in there. Get through April, and then summer will be in. I worked out the other night, we haven't had in the UK one 24-hour day or night or 24-hour session without rain. And it's raining again outside. Now, we've got allotments. We've got farmers out here, can't get on the fields. They're keeping the heads. I've talked to our seed merchants. I've talked to the guys at the nursery where I buy my plants from. I've talked to the local farmers. They're all keeping their heads. They're all looking forward, saying it's going to come brighter. So do that, everybody, and we'll all be all right. And I love you all.
Excellent, Chris. That's just the way that we like to finish the shows. We love you all, guys. You take it easy. Let's ride the waves. 10 days time, everything's going to change, hopefully for the better. I'm convinced it's going to be for the longevity of DAOversal. And what we like to do with these shows is try and pick everything apart and allow people to understand what's going on. Okay, guys, it's been a blast hosting this show, and you take care. We'll be back next Friday with episode 27. Yeah, it's going fast. You take care, guys. Love you loads. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye, folks.